Hello English 102 online students. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to week 2 of our online class. So just to get started, and I will do this every week when I record these videos, I'll kind of walk you through the sequence of steps I think you should take to be successful in each week's set of assignments. So the first place that we should start with is going to course information. And once you're in course information, first thing you should do each week is go ahead and download the course calendar. So I'm going to do that and get that opened. All right. So the great thing about looking at the course calendar every week is it's sort of like a checklist. I don't know about you, but I like checklists. I like to be able to say, okay, I got that done. I got that done. I know I can move on to the next thing. So you can basically, you could use a system like highlighting the rows or something. You could color this all in red, let's say, because you're done with those assignments and you're done with week 1. So going into week 2, you see that you have 3 assignments due this week. It's 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. And we're moving into module 2. So we've already completed our first of, I believe we have a total of 9 modules, so we're already finished with the first one. So even though it's just the first week of the semester, we're moving into the second week, we've already completed a whole module, so that's great. In that first module, I've had the chance to get to know some of you a little bit, and that's always helpful for me since we're online. I don't get to see you face to face, so I'm starting to get to know you and to get to know your names a little bit, and that's really helpful for me too. Okay, so in Module 1, you completed 3 other assignments. You also did a survey that kind of guided you through the different parts of the syllabus, so you know what some of the course policies are, you know what some of the assignments that we're going to be doing during the semester. And we're actually going to be getting started with one of those just in the first steps of that this week. You won't have a writing assignment due until week 3, but we're going to start to prepare for that this coming week. Okay, the other thing you practiced was a little bit of editing, right? You all worked on the 25 plus 2 most common errors, and that list of errors is basically, it's a comprehensive list. So that means that not everybody is going to make all those mistakes in their writing. Some of you may make some of them, some of you may make none of them, some of you may make a few. I mean, you might make some here and there. But the good thing about it is it gives us a system to work with. When I give feedback to you in your writing assignments, instead of doing direct corrections, I may do that occasionally if I feel like it will help you more, but most of the time I will use the numbers from that list. So if you have a comma error, for example, I'm going to mark that with a number 7, and you'll know that you need to do something to fix commas or maybe add a missing comma. Or maybe you'll see a number 20, I believe it is, for comma splices. That means you've got 2 ideas joined together just with a comma, and you need to adjust your punctuation or sentence structure. Those are just a couple of examples. So the goal of that assignment was just to get you used to that system. Even if I made some corrections and I put those into the feedback that I've given to you, to those that I've given feedback to so far, that was really just to show you how the system is going to work. So with that assignment, the points that I assigned to it are not related to correctness. It's really just to get you familiar with it and up to speed. The last of the assignments you did last week was on annotation techniques, and that's just to get you in the habit of whenever you read a text, an article, a story, whatever it happens to be, it's ways of practicing kind of talking with that text, having a conversation with it, if you will. Even though the author of that piece or that text is not sitting in front of you, you can still almost talk to him or her. You can ask questions, you can make comments, you can point out things that surprise you. And the goal of that is that when we start moving into the research phase of our class in a few weeks, when you start collecting sources on your research topics, you're already going to have some techniques in mind to start pulling them apart, to start to look for ideas that stand out to you, to start to look for maybe ideas that are so catchy or that are so, they stand out so much that you want to be able to quote them in what you're writing, or you want to use a paraphrase from that article. So we're just kind of little by little getting used to some of the skills we need to write successful research papers at the end of this class. Okay, so now that we know we're moving on to Module 2, let's go ahead in Blackboard and see what you're going to be doing with that. All right, so back to my classroom. And in case you didn't get a chance to watch the course introduction video, don't forget that that's posted here. I'll leave that here for a while, for a few weeks at least. Virtual office hours. I decided to move these, or actually you can access the virtual office hours either on the left side of the screen underneath my classroom. You can also come here and click on the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra link and it will take you there. So once you click there, you will see a list of links. None of them are active right now because it's not those specific times, but let's say you come here on Monday or Wednesday, 2:15 to 4:15, these links will be active and they'll allow you to go ahead and join with me in a session. And don't hesitate to do that anytime. I'm glad to give you help with any assignment in the class. Okay, so then we'll move down to course modules and we'll go into Module 2. So we're going to be exploring your curiosity starting this week. So you can see the objectives in each of the module folders. So in Module 2, you'll start to think about and discuss the connection between curiosity and knowledge. So how you gain knowledge based on your curiosity about a topic. Learn about the features of effective introductions for personal essays. Personal essays, because the first essay you write in this course starting next week, the draft is next week, it is a personal essay, but it's meant to be a bridge from English 101 to the more research-based assignments you'll be doing in English 102. Okay, you'll write and revise Essay 1, the Curiosity Exploration essay that's coming next week. And then reflect on the value of peer review in academic writing. That's also coming next week. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the assignments that are due next Sunday, January 24th. So you can always look here at due dates. So as you can see here, assignments 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3 are due on Sunday, January 24th. There are other due dates here, but they are for future weeks. So we'll come back to Module 2 for a couple more weeks. Okay, so let's look at each of these assignments and just give you a brief overview of what you're going to be doing. So in assignment 2.1, you'll be reading this article called Curiosity is as Important as Intelligence by Tomas Chamorro Premuzic. Pretty sure that's how you say his name. Okay, so after you read the article, you're going to practice annotating. So in assignment 1.4 in module 1, you learned all these different techniques for annotating. So now in assignment 2.1, you're actually going to be putting that into practice. Okay, so as it tells you here, okay, after you read the article from beginning to end, you'll annotate it using some of the techniques you learned about in that 1.4 assignment last week. This part is important. Okay, you'll need to do a total of 10 annotations. So that means in the entire article, you'll do 10 different annotations. So in one case, you might do a margin question. In another case, you might put a star by an interesting word or a word you want to look up later. Or maybe you'll underline a sentence that you want to use as a quote, let's say. Those are just 3 different examples. So a total of 10 annotations and 3 different types of annotations. So that means out of those 10 annotations, you might have 3 margin questions, 2 margin comments, maybe 2 words with stars next to them, and maybe a couple of underlined sentences. So you're doing 10 annotations and using a variety of different techniques. Okay. So a couple ways that you can do this. You can print out the article and add your annotations by hand. I know that's the way I like to do it. It's just comfortable for me to be able to, mark it up with a pen or pencil or even a Sharpie or something. Okay, you'll take a picture of that annotated article. You can do that with your phone and just upload it to the assignment link. So if you click on 2.1 and scroll down just a little bit, you can just browse your computer for the file of that. Okay, the other way that you could do this is you can print the Word document that I have attached here. And you can actually use Microsoft Word comments to put annotations. So you can insert comments, you can bold text, underline text, highlight it in different colors. And then once you've done your annotations, you can save it to your computer and submit it at that 2.1 link. And so I will let you decide how you want to do it, whichever way is most comfortable for you. The idea is that you read the article, you understand a little bit about why curiosity is so important in the pursuit of knowledge, and that helps you kind of get started on your own curiosity journey. And it's going to get you thinking about what topics you are really interested in and what makes you want to learn more as we go forward towards the first essay assignment next week. Okay, we'll take this idea of curiosity just a little bit farther with a discussion assignment. So you'll be watching a TED Talk. It's called 3 Rules to Spark Learning by a high school chemistry teacher. His name is Ramsey Masalam. I think it's a really great talk because he talks about kind of a medical emergency that he went through, and the way that his doctor handled that emergency made him realize something about how to be a better teacher. So it's kind of an interesting story, but it also makes you understand how important the element of curiosity is in pursuing what you're interested in and finding out more about it and being able to communicate that to others. Okay, so once you've watched the TED Talk, then you will add a post of about 150 to 175 words discussing which of Masalam's 3 rules resonate most with you. He's going to talk about 3, and connect it with at least one idea that stood out to you from the Curiosity is as Important as Intelligence article in assignment 2.1. And then once you've posted your own reaction to this TED Talk, I'll ask you to respond to at least 2 classmates in about 50 to 100 words. Okay, so once you click on this link, it should take you directly to the discussion forum. Nobody has posted there yet, of course, because you're just getting started on this. But if you're the first person, you'll click on Create Thread, and each person who comes into the forum will do the same thing. And then once the threads are there, you can go ahead and reply to other students. And if you go back to My Classroom and scroll down past course modules, you can also access all the discussions from this link. So if you want to go directly to it, it is right here, Curiosity's discussion. So any discussion assignments you can access from that link. All right, one more assignment that you have for this week. Let's head back to Module 2, and we'll go down to 2.3. Oh, and before we head to 2.3, notice that I've included this graphic about how to collaborate online in discussion forums. It's a helpful kind of a little bit of advice about how to interact with classmates, how to get the most from that experience of collaborating online, what kinds of questions to ask to get discussions going. So it's helpful to take a look at that before you go ahead and add your post. Okay, and 2.3. So, effective introductions making your reader curious. Since your first essay is all about curiosity, it's exploring your own areas of curiosity, you're going to want to make your readers curious, I think. They're going to want to know more about your area of curiosity, the topic that you're going to be writing about in that first essay. Okay, so what you'll be doing for this is there's an attached online textbook, like an open source textbook that we'll use from time to time in this class. It's called Rhetoric and Composition from Bay College. So you'll read about writing introductory paragraphs on pages 103 to 104. You'll skip exercise 1 and then read the example introductory paragraph at the bottom of page 105. And I'm basically going to be asking you to evaluate how the techniques the writer used to put that introduction together. How did she attract her reader? What techniques did she use? Because I want you to learn from her. Then in number 2, you'll take a look at the web article, How to Write an Awesome Personal Essay Introduction. So this one is a little more informal way of looking at the same topic. The textbook is a more formal description of how to write an effective introduction, but this one is a little more on the informal fun side. So again, you'll choose one of the effective introductions from the article, and just like you did for number 1, you'll indicate which techniques the writer used in her introduction and comment on how each sentence is designed to attract her reader's interest. So you're going to see a couple of effective examples that will help you write an introduction that is going to attract your readers later on next week. Okay, so you'll copy and paste both paragraphs into a Word document. Add comment boxes with your thoughts, and then attach your work at the assignment link here, 2.3. And if you need a tutorial on adding comments in Word documents, I did include a video of that here, and that might be helpful in assignment 2.1 above too, if you want to do the second option of doing your annotations in a Word document. Okay, so that's everything that you need to do by Sunday, January 24th. It's going to get us on the path to writing a great first essay. In case you want to take a look ahead, you'll see that your first major writing assignment, the Curiosity Exploration essay, I have the guidelines attached there. There's a sample essay from a student who did this previously in another semester of English 102. You're welcome to go ahead and take a look at those if you like. This will be assigned to you next week, and the first draft will be due on the 31st of January. But you're certainly not required to do that this week. It's just if you're curious and you want to look ahead. Assignment 2.4 is a peer review of the first draft of that essay, and again, that's going to come later. So you're welcome to take a look at any assignments coming up, but the only ones you need to worry about finishing for the 24th of January would be 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Okay, so that's everything for this week. Don't hesitate to let me know if you have questions about anything. Pop into my office hours on Monday, Wednesday, Friday in case you have questions about anything. And I wish you good luck this week.